Welcome to Season 2 of Marathon. I'm going to cover the main changes that I think everyone's going to want to know, and we'll make deep dive videos later. I'm really excited, so let's go ahead and jump in, starting with the quality of life changes and moving on to the more juicy stuff towards the end. Up first, for the main quality of life updates, the vault space. I've never been more grateful for the Marathon devs than right now. The increased vault space is something I've needed forever. Originally, the max cap was 400, now it goes up to 512, which hopefully I'll be able to show you kind of what that looks like. All these empty spaces here, that is the extra 112 spaces. That is how much more vault space we're getting at max level, which is enough room for 56 shields, by the way. Next change, they're adding the ability to batch select items in your vault. You don't have to sell every core individually, you can just select all of them and then press one button and sell all of them, or convert them into the Cradle. More on that in a little bit. One of my favorite changes here is a loot filter where you select a slot that you're missing on your loadout and it will filter your loot to exactly what is in that slot. The example that I've seen and what we're expecting here is that if you need a shield, you click on the empty shield spot and that will filter your vault into just your shields. It'll just be super simple. Another banger change is that now when we're in matchmaking, we can actually look through the codex, through your settings, through other faction things. You can just do things while you're matchmaking. This is a phenomenal change. The codex alone would have been a good enough change, but being able to do everything sounds amazing. Big upgrade for everyone on console. I don't think PC people will care too much. Your console cursor speed settings are now adjustable. It was taking too long for you to move through the menus on console. Now that shouldn't be a problem. Additional game security features to speed up detection of cheats and reduce their effectiveness. I actually don't know if I've run into any cheaters. I know I'm pretty lucky on that apparently, but this should help that happen a lot less. And there's one change that I haven't seen anyone else mention. Where I did find it is there is a single second inside the dev insights where they show this screenshot. If you're like me, your eyes instantly see that there are now runner damage shown and runners downed shown in the stats. These are phenomenal. The number of times I feel like my teammates aren't doing anything can now be seen, and if I am the problem, I will now know. This is an amazing change and I'm super glad it's here. Also, John Marathon. The new implant system are apparently significantly easier to tell apart, and stats are no longer random rolls. I know some people might kind of be upset about this because some people like to chase random roll stats. That's a whole gameplay loop for some people. But now the implants themselves have a set of fixed stats that they will always have, meaning they are a lot more consistent. Once you see the title of an implant, you can now know exactly everything about it. Perk ability it gives you and the stats it's also going to give you. So now it should be easier to tell the implants apart. Now, this is also a quality of life change, so I'll mention it here. Faction progression. Now, I am over level 100 and I still don't have VIP in every rank, but now it's not as grueling. In Season 2, they're going to make you upgrade significantly faster through multiple reasons. I'm going to make a deep dive thing into all the changes faction-wise, but essentially what you need to know, upgrades will cost less. They specifically mention that you might need less alien alloys now, thank goodness, and standard contracts should give you more faction reputation. So in general, you will just progress faster, both in terms of items and in terms of XP. Some of these I might group into just a big, deep overall look at all of these things. If that's something you want to see, let me know in the comments and I'll make a full deep dive going over everything. Speaking of contracts are getting a little bit easier. They feel that some of those heavy traversal things in a single run were just too much, and I think everyone can agree. The number of times I've run a literal marathon across Dire Marsh could be an entire game on its own. I felt like I was playing Death Stranding. It's not good, especially on Dire Marsh where you're going to get sniped by a thermal miles away. I mean, even without all the thermals, look at Intersection. Going through there is a death trap every time, regardless of what time it is in the run. So contracts should be a little easier in that regard. Again, I'll go more specifics elsewhere. Right now, I'm just trying to give you a base overview. Experimental queues and duo queues. They want to experiment more with some PvE content coming later in Season 2, but not off rip. Duo queues are coming as a seemingly permanent thing, but they will switch between Perimeter, Dire Marsh, Night Marsh, and Outpost with Season 2. Now, this is one of the most important systems coming up in my opinion. I'm going to put it before the guns just because, I don't know, it's something quick to get out of the way. The Cradle. If you've played Season 1, then you know that a lot of stat upgrades are locked behind faction upgrade. Think of melee damage for Arachne or the agility upgrades in Mida, which I still haven't gotten. Now you don't have to worry about that. You will get XP another way, it seems, by breaking down equipment that you don't want, and that will give you Cradle XP that you can spend to upgrade any of these stats. And they're not permanent, they're completely free. You can take them off of one stat and put them into another so that you can truly customize exactly how you want your shells to run. These are not shell specific, so whatever upgrades you do will work for all of them. And again, you are welcome to change them at any time completely for free. Super excited to see how this plays out, but I think this is a phenomenal change. Now, this is somewhere in the mid area. We're getting 2 new guns, and one of them is especially talked about how it is going to be the anti-shotgun weapon. Now, there isn't enough information here to make a whole deep dive video, so I am going to spend a tiny bit longer on these 2 guns. The first is the KKV, shown right here on screen. It is a pistol frame SMG with an integrated suppressor. This suppressor comes with the gun even if there are no mods on it, which is amazing. It's got one of the highest fire rates in the game, coming in at 1,200 rounds per minute. That's up there with the Gold Bully. It's also apparently, and this is the dev's own words, a good counter to all shotgun rushing. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work because the Misra is a one-tap thing. I think the idea is that if you peek out before the shotgun gets directly on top of you, you will be able to kill them before they get a second Misra shot off on you. If you can live the first one, which sometimes you can, especially with a good enough shield. This does have a switchable system where you can fold in the stock. Apparently this will make it where firing from the hip will be a little better, or you can unfold the stock, trade those hip fire benefits for ADS benefits instead. This is going to give it a little more versatility, and honestly, it sounds pretty good. I think this might be one of the better guns in the new season once you get used to kind of using that. Next gun is the D54 battle pistol. This is apparently another great close counters weapon. They say to think of it as a hybrid between the BR-33 volley rifle and the Burt SMG. This is a great companion for sniper rifles and other long-range weapons. Now, this gun comes with a red dot sight automatically, does not need the sight on it, and it fires full auto 3-round burst, high handling, medium rate of fire. Last thing I'll say about these 2 weapons is apparently they both work really well with Sentinel. Apparently Sentinel has a passive where when they take damage or are in close range surrounded by enemies, they get extra benefits to close range weapons. I've got a sneaking suspicion that Sentinel is going to be top tier. Speaking of Sentinel, let's get into him. He himself alleviates the main problem with Cryo, which is nade spam. One of the main things about this character is they have a trophy system, which it's not called that in the game, but essentially it's a little thing you put down that destroys nades coming at you. And it's not just runner nades. Apparently this can also hold off the rocket launcher bot that floats in the sky now on Dire Marsh. It does have a limit of how many it can do, and I'm sure they can just break it by shooting it, but that is going to be an absolute game changer in Cryo. I'm going to release a video going over more of what he does, but the short of it is he has that anti-nade machine. He has a snare mine, which he puts on a wall, and if somebody walks in front of it, it will immobilize them. You can swing out and just gun them down. And the last thing, their special ability, is the prey tracker. This is going to kind of work like a heartbeat sensor, my understanding is, but instead of heartbeats, it will censor motion tracking, so if they're moving at all, it will show up. A new map, which I promise is more than just a new map that is nighttime. It is Dire Marsh, which we already know, which thankfully, if you've ever played the game Sardines, you're gonna really appreciate that you kinda know the map. But it's not the same old map. There is new stuff, there is a new place to go in Complex that apparently has high tier loot. It seems like it'll kind of function like Outpost, where you'll get some security, and then you'll be able to get into that new room. I'll go deeper into that video that I'll link in the description and here once I have it done. There will be some new technologies to help move around, like flashlights, scopes that look really cool. I'll flash some things on the screen so you can kind of see how cool some of these things look. The only other thing I'll share here, for the first week, during that free week, we're going to be able to access Night Marsh at all times, but after that first week is up, it's going to be on a rotation with normal Dire Marsh that switches every 90 minutes. So it kind of gives you that vibe of an actual rotating day and night cycle, which feels kind of nice. That is all of the brief changes, with the exception of one very good thing coming. Starting on June 2nd and lasting for a week, anyone can pick up the game for free. They won't get to keep it, but they can try it out for a week and see how they like it, and if they do end up buying it, you get to keep all the progress you made in that week for Season 2. This is an excellent idea by Bungie to try to get some more players in. If you're trying to get your friends to play, this is going to be the best opportunity to do it. This game, I think, is actually amazing. If you haven't played it yet, or if you're new, you really should give it a shot. These changes seem amazing. Night March seems like it's going to play like a survival horror game. That's literally the words the devs chose. I'm super excited. That is the main changes coming to Season 2. There are more changes I didn't list off, and there are even more changes that are going to come that they haven't talked about. That's all for me. Keep an eye out for those deep dive videos, and I'll see you in the next one.